G'day there and welcome back to the Sustainable Homes Show. Today I want to talk to you about the 5 fundamentals that we use to ensure a beautiful and comfortable sustainable home. I believe these 5 points are a cheat code to help you create the comfortable sustainable home of your dreams. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this country and pay tribute to elders past, present and emerging. And let's dive right in. So if you're building or renovating, get these 5 fundamentals right and you'll be sure to have a comfortable, energy efficient and sustainable home. Top of the list with these 5 fundamentals is passive solar design. Now, passive solar design, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of this term. This term should go without saying. All homes should be passive solar design. All passive solar is using the environment to passively as possible heat and cool your home. Opening living areas to the north to allow that winter sun in, while also shading it from the summer sun. Also allowing cross breezes through the home to cool the home after a hot summer's day. Simple things with passive solar design can go a really long way. And number 2 is your building fabric. Now I like to use the analogy, imagine that you're in bed on a cold winter's night, you've got your duvet or doona covering you. Imagine there was a hole in that doona. It'd be pretty ordinary. You'd certainly feel the cold. I don't know whether you've ever woken up from a cold night and your toes hanging out the side of the bed or your partner's stolen the blanket. You certainly feel the cold and your home's no different. So the objective here with your building fabric is to get a continuous layer of insulation from your walls to your floors to your ceilings. The other important part of your building fabric is air tightness layer. It's important to have a vapor permeable membrane to keep your wall system healthy and free of any moisture. This also allows for an airtight home so you can manage actively the amount of external air that you want to infiltrate your home. I'm sure being in Melbourne and Australia particularly, we're all very familiar with the terribly drafty homes that we have. So it's incredibly important to remove those drafts and manage the air inside your home. It's also important that if you do go under 6 air changes per hour, it's highly recommended for you to install a HRV, heat recovery ventilation system. And number 3 is thermal mass. Now thermal mass can be a secret weapon when creating a comfortable, energy efficient and sustainable home. It acts as a battery inside your home, absorbing that sun or the heat in the home and maintaining a moderate temperature. Thermal mass ultimately works in the way of extracting heat or from the ambient air or direct heat and storing that, and then the temperature drops below what that thermal mass then is, and then it would release that heat back into the room. It works extraordinarily well. My experience is it works really well in homes during summer to keep them cool particularly. And number 4 is connection to outdoors. It really feels we're moving away from a connection with nature, and you can only assume that will have detrimental effects. And I think the detrimental effects are pretty obvious. So a connection with nature is super important. I value it so highly. I love hiking and all the rest. But connection with nature in a home could be as simple as a window seat that enables you to look out onto your garden or look out onto even the nature strip. It could be a courtyard with open doors that on a moderate to warm day, you have the outdoors open. Connection with nature is really important, and there's a term that's growing and that's called biophilic design. That's all about connection with nature. So put that at the top of your list as well. And number 5, I know I talked about passive solar design, the key word there being passive. Passive doesn't always work, and potentially you aren't in the position right now to build a new home or renovate your home. Actively operating your home will go a long way to creating a comfortable and energy efficient sustainable home. That means opening your curtains on a cold winter's day to allow that sun in, closing your curtains or external blinds on a hot summer's day to keep that sun out. After a really hot summer's day, what I like to do is open a door and feel the breeze outside the home coming in. And if the breeze is cooler or more to my liking, I'll leave the door open and let that breeze cool the home passively. What the ideal scenario would be a low south window or a low window where the wind direction typically comes from. Typically here in Melbourne, it's southwest. Low window there, high window up north, and it just purges the heat outside your home and can work extremely well. So there you have it, what we like to call our 5 fundamentals or cheat code for designing and building super comfortable, energy efficient and sustainable homes. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this, and that can help this channel grow. Until next time, hooroo.